Hello and welcome to Never Seen It. Today we're going to be continuing our 2021 Oscar series with Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm one of your hosts, Trent. I'm here with my wife, Betsy. Hey, Betsy.
Hey, Trent.
So we're number 7.
Yeah, almost on the home stretch.
The penultimate
episode.
I learned that word in school.
I didn't. No, I don't.
we like using big words here, just for the sake of big words. That's probably a word in and of itself. People who like to use big words for no reason.
My vernacular is spectacular.
Put that on a T-shirt. Inside married people's jokes. Anyway, today, Judas and the Black Messiah is on deck. Again, a movie neither of us have seen. Probably a movie I know the least about. I probably said that about another one, but I know very little about this movie.
I think this entire season of movies has been lacking in knowledge for us just because we have been in pandemic mode. We haven't been going out, so we have made no plans to go see movies. They're not in the theater, so they're not advertising the crap out of them.
And on occasion, Betsy and I will actually, at the dinner table, instead of putting something on to watch on the TV, we'll actually just go to the trailers app on the Apple TV and just watch movie trailers.
Yeah, so I know I've seen this trailer, but not recently. I know it is... it's something to do with the Black Panther Party.
Yes.
And I think it's an undercover cop, perhaps.
So
Lakeith Stanfield is supposed to be an undercover cop.
He's an informant.
Something like that.
That's my understanding. He is informing the FBI of the Black Panther Party of Chicago.
Specifically Chicago?
Yes, of Chicago.
Okay.
He is informing the FBI of the Black Panther Party in Chicago of their activities, and especially of their leader, who is played by
Daniel Kaluuya.
Thank you. So that is pretty much the extent of my knowledge. This is the second reference to the Black Panthers in this series of movies.
Yeah.
So I guess that's just the topic we're talking about. 60s quote unquote radicals. Yeah. Being informed upon by or being investigated by Herbert Hoover's FBI.
Cops infiltrating makes me think of, was it last year, 2 years ago, Black Klansmen? Kind of a similar thing.
Yes.
Very different tone.
Very much the opposite
very different group.
Of what we're talking about here. But that was another great movie.
Yeah, but it did make me think of that, somebody undercover.
Infiltrating a quote-unquote radical group.
Yes, but one is slightly more defined as that.
Yes.
And I know that both of the actors we named are nominated for acting. Yeah. So if I expect anything out of this film, I think it's going to be the acting.
Yeah, these two guys just going at it, having a chance to really show their stuff.
Well, yeah, Daniel Kaluuya, he won the Golden Globe.
Yeah.
I don't think he's probably going to win the Academy Award just because the wind seems to be blowing in the direction of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
But
that's always a weird thing when it's a posthumous nomination.
It doesn't happen a lot.
No.
It doesn't happen a lot, but the last time it happened, it was Heath Ledger and he won.
Right.
But if it's warranted...
And that was also for a supporting role.
Yes.
And
this is a lead role.
I'm not seeing the other one with Chadwick Boseman. I'm sure he's fine in that. I don't know if we're going to be watching that movie anytime soon, but I just feel like the posthumous thing with Heath Ledger, dude deserved it. But by any stretch of the imagination, he absolutely, he absolutely deserved that award. I don't remember who else he was up against in that year, but a supporting Oscar is, I think, more understanding to give it to someone who has died. A lead actor, maybe not so much. I don't know.
I don't think it's ever happened. I think it's only ever gone to supporting actors. The only other time it happened was with Network. Yeah. His name's escaping me. Peter something. But he won for Best Supporting Actor for Network. But that aside, I think Daniel Kaluuya has been nominated now twice. the last time for Get Out.
Yeah.
And I think he's a very good actor. And I definitely will be interested in watching this movie and seeing him in this and seeing him continue to give these really good performances, warranting at least recognition from the Academy. Yeah. And Lakeith Stanfield too, like he keeps showing up in kind of everything the last 5 years.
Yeah. What was that movie we watched? It was it was the customer service movie.
Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah, Sorry to Bother You.
Yep.
Another greatly fucked up movie.
Yep.
But in the best ways.
But yeah, he was in that. He was in Knives Out. He kind of just keeps showing up places.
Yeah, keeps getting work. I like it.
And now he's nominated for Best Supporting Actor. So good for him.
Yeah, cool. I like him in all the other things that he's been in. He seems like a really cool guy, a very talented dude. So.
But plot, I don't know anything about this movie. I don't know anyone else who's in it.
I'm curious to see where they're gonna go with this because I mean, you could call it's a movie about snitching. Maybe. You know, who knows? But you know, you got somebody who is informing on the group that they're a part of. I believe that the person who's informing on the FBI is a part of the Black Panther Party, and maybe they got him under his thumb. Under their thumb or something, and they're trying to flip them to their side so that they can get a much higher up person in the organization. That's how FBI people think.
Thank you for another segment of Trent Speculates Wildly.
hey, that's why we're doing this intro. But you know what? The last time I speculated wildly, I was right.
Okay, well, which one were you right about?
Avatar.
That's because I fed you that. And it's because it's easy. Yes. I think this one will be a little bit tougher because I don't know. I don't know the director. I don't know who wrote it. I don't know anything else about this movie. I don't know the point of the movie
other than what we just said.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a trailer for this. All I've seen are very short write-ups on like Rotten Tomatoes and other movie sites.
I would assume people are liking it.
Sure. Why? It wouldn't be nominated otherwise. Oh, wait.
Yep. Was this the first one to show up on HBO Max as a new release?
Yeah.
I think this was the first one with that new deal.
Yeah. Of course, we were stupid enough not to watch it back then. And now we got to pay $20 to rent it. But that's okay. We're doing it for the folks. We're doing it for the folks who are listening to this.
It's for our art.
Yes. That's okay. Hey, you know, if we were to actually go out to a theater, who knows how much money we would spend.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, that being said, we're going to go watch this film, Judas and the Black Messiah. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. We just watched Judas and the Black Messiah. Again, I like to talk about titles of movies. This movie's title is very apt to what we just witnessed. Betsy, first reactions.
Yeah, I think it's weird how the title is very obvious, but again, I didn't really think much about the context. Sorry, 12 years of Catholic school.
Hey.
But it's an interesting bookend. I'm kind of regretting that we didn't watch this last because this is obviously very related to the first movie we watched with the Trial of the Chicago 7. And it took me a minute to go, wait a second.
Yeah.
But
this is all
hold
connected.
On, hang on.
All connected,
we've come full circle.
Yeah.
This is the same guy who was in the trial scenes at the beginning of the Trial of the Chicago 7.
Yeah.
And again, we talked about it before this started. I didn't know anything about this movie, and now having seen that movie actually gave me a little context for what I was watching.
Yep.
That being said, it meant I spent the rest of the movie knowing what was going to happen to him at the end of the movie.
Right.
Yeah, I really liked this one. I think to go back to the Trial of the Chicago 7, it gave me context. I don't know if I would have preferred to see this one first so that I have the context for that movie, or if I actually liked having the context this way around.
I think the first movie we saw, I think, gave a little bit of a context of what was happening and maybe what kind of an organization he was a part of. Mm-hmm. He was barely in that movie.
Oh, yeah. He's only there because of Bobby Seale.
Yeah.
So he's on trial, and Fred is there to support him.
Yeah.
And he has members of the Black Panther Party of Chicago with him.
Yep.
And they talk about it, they touch on it, but he's not the main character. He's barely a supporting character in that movie.
In fact, it's called the Trial of the Chicago 7, but there are 8 people on trial.
He's the 8th one.
And his thing gets thrown out on mistrial because of how he is treated by the judge in that case. And they refer to what had happened to him.
Yep, they kind of gloss over it. They have an image of the court drawing.
A court reporter's drawing of how he was bound up and gagged up in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't talk about it much, just like the other way they don't talk much about Fred in that first movie.
Yeah.
They kind of touch on it a few times. But the other thing they talk about, and maybe I'm jumping around all the time, is in the Trial of Chicago 7, they said that he's accused of murdering some guy.
In Connecticut.
Yeah. And they go into the context in this movie about what that is and how they're pinning it on him. I thought that was great. Again, so I don't know if I actually am so glad we watched that one first.
Yeah.
So I understood this one more, or if I would have understood that movie more if I had seen this one first.
And see, now that you're talking more about this just makes me want to go and watch Trial of Chicago 7 again, just for those scenes, for his scenes, so I can see these same people in these different situations and when it was happening.
Because, this movie starts in 1968.
Yeah.
And then it goes into he's arrested, and it's in 69 when he gets out of prison. So obviously, Trial of Chicago 7 is during the election, and it's before the election because it's for the Democratic nomination. Right. So it's in basically
68.
Earlier 68.
Yeah.
So we're talking
summertime.
The exact same time in the exact same city, but from two incredibly different perspectives. Where one, you've got a bunch of white yuppies, effectively.
Yeah.
Or children of white yuppies.
Yeah.
Protesting the war. You've got this entire different group.
This entire other group fighting for equality, fighting for revolution, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Yeah.
So to talk about the movies for a minute.
Yeah.
I left Trial of Chicago 7 being like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. I thought this one was really good.
Because
I was invested.
It got more in depth into what was actually happening. The trial was exactly what we talked about in the first episode. It was the trial.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yep.
It gave you context of why they were on trial.
You had a few scenes.
Right. And it's just them. It's very little about what was happening outside of their protests.
Outside of that room, basically.
Outside of the room and outside of the riots, quote unquote.
Yeah.
That caused all this to happen. So I definitely want to go and watch his scenes again, just to give the extra context to what I just watched.
Yeah, I don't know if this is just that phenomenon in Hollywood where people pick the same subject matter. It happens a lot. Like
it does, yeah.
Snow White. There were 2 Snow White movies out at the same time 10 years ago. And there's always Armageddon and Deep Impact. They came out at the same time. Volcano and Dante's Peak. It's this phenomenon that happens. Yeah. And people they made 2 Steve Jobs movies at the same time.
Yep.
So this is kind of that same effect. But it's different subject matters.
But they're still related.
They are so circular.
They are very much of the moment right now. Because think about the themes of this movie. You're talking about revolution. You're talking about black people
and
rising
police.
up and against police. Of course, that's been going on for decades and centuries.
For 50 years. This movie is 50 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're still talking about the same kinds of things. So
Yeah.
the themes that they're talking about in these two movies here, we are seeing still today.
Yep.
Just in different contexts. So what Fred did in this movie was what a lot of organizers these days are doing now. They're not just cherry picking, we're just going to get black people on our side, or we're just going to get these types of people on our side. He created the original Rainbow Coalition. Now, I have heard of that. I didn't know what it was. Did you?
I just heard the phrase.
Right. So the Rainbow Coalition is how it is depicted here. It is black gangs, quote unquote, black political groups, Puerto Rican groups, and white rednecks.
Poor white people.
Poor white people coming together to say, you know what? Fuck these cops. They're coming in to raid our homes and like hassle us and just basically keep us down. Let's all band together and say, you know what? Enough is enough. Get out of our neighborhoods. We can police ourselves. We can educate ourselves. Get these motherfuckers out of here.
Yep. And he knows that these are... He just kind of strolls into these places knowing that he's probably going to have a fight, and he keeps telling his followers, leave your weapons in the car. We're not going in there to start trouble, but we got to talk to these people.
Yeah.
And
let them know what we're about. The only way to do it is to go there.
And it's quite literally the Messiah thing. He's getting people to listen to his message and follow him.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Right.
Which is why, of course, the FBI is like, oh no thank you.
Yeah. They even say the term. J. Edgar Hoover, played by Martin Sheen, very well in that Hoover was a fucking smarmy character.
He knew everything about everybody. Every time they give him a piece of information in this movie, he's like, well, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because of course he knew. He had files. So the scene I would bring up if you want to talk about J. Edgar.
Yeah.
So two things. First of all, they don't actually address who he is at the beginning of the movie.
Oh no, but you know.
But you know exactly who he is. And I was like, oh, he's J. Edgar Hoover. All right. Because that guy was in charge of the CIA for 40 plus years. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the FBI for 40, 50 years.
He was appointed FBI director for life.
By himself.
Not by himself.
Okay, but he created the agency.
He basically was the head of the agency at its. I don't know a lot about it. You've seen the movie J. Edgar. So.
It's the birth of the FBI.
Yeah.
He was the guy, and he was that sort of dude. He had files on everybody. Yeah. When he died, his secretaries had very strict orders to basically the second they found out, open the files and start shredding things.
Yeah.
Like there's no telling what he had because he had stuff on everybody.
Yeah.
But
which
in this
also
movie,
meant that he had leverage over everybody.
Exactly. In this movie, they sort of toy with that a little bit. So when they invite the FBI agent that that Bill is working with into his office, he says, oh, you have a son, you have a daughter. You think he remembers that? No. He has a file on this guy.
He knows what the kids' names are and how old they are.
Yeah, and I think he also, the agent knows that he knows this because of that. He's not a nice guy who remembers your family and your kids. He literally has it written down, and he looks at his little creepy book.
What can I get out of this guy? How can I squeeze him?
And he shows that he has information on you by simply saying it.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, we could talk for a long time about what a smarmy piece of work J. Edgar Hoover was. And I have to assume that Martin Sheen probably didn't film very much. He probably spent more time in the makeup chair than he did actually filming this movie.
He was in like 3 scenes and 2 of them are in the same setting.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, did you... I feel like we talked about this before. Did you find it all distracting that Martin Sheen was in this movie, given that he's also in The Departed? Because one of the movies I kept thinking about a lot in this was The Departed.
That did not... So I did think about The Departed. I did not think about Martin Sheen in The Departed. The fact that they're both in the same movie. And they're both in either movie. So, no, I did not get that, but I did get a lot of Departed themes in this, about him going to his handler and like, hey, I could just dump some photos in front of you and see, oh, I'm going to show you what happened to this other guy. Wouldn't it be a tragedy if, let's take your file let's take your file out of headquarters and just shred it.
What if it disappeared?
What if it disappeared? What if we happened to tell people that you were an informant? What would happen then? Again, I said it in the beginning. FBI's got something hanging over his head. He's got to do this, otherwise he's going away. And if he goes away as a snitch, he's dead.
Yeah.
He will not survive in prison.
No. I did think about the Departed for the obvious reason that he is an informant and he spends a lot of time talking to his
handler, his FBI agent.
Yeah. And there's the one scene where he's at the payphone and he's like, I'm out. Yep. And you always have that scene, like, I'm not doing this for you anymore. And I have to go back to The Departed because I was like, is this like the same shot? Because he has that scene too. Leonardo DiCaprio says, I'm out. Because I'm done. It's the pressure, the paranoia, the pressure. If there was any movie I thought of, it would be that. But again, I haven't seen a whole lot of movies about like informants and things. But that was the one I thought of many, many times.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was thinking about that movie at the same time, for a lot of different reasons. Not just the FBI informant thing, but I was just thinking, how is this going to end? I know it's not going to end well for anybody involved, but they tell the story about Bill and how he got his start. And I go back to what he said when he is being interviewed by the FBI agent at the beginning. By the way, why is an FBI agent involved in a dude jacking cars?
I feel like it's not so much that he was involved. I think he was looking for somebody that fit a description.
Sure.
And FBI agents are all over the United States. Sure. I could be an FBI agent here.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They are without a central location, even though there is one. They are everywhere because there's so much work that the FBI does throughout the country.
Point taken. So that being said, you said they were looking for a type, and I wrote down in my notes that he is exactly the type that they are looking for. He is a disaffected kid who doesn't care two shits about politics on either side. Didn't really care about Martin Luther King being assassinated. Didn't care about Malcolm X being assassinated. Or didn't.
Were you sad?
Didn't really think about it.
He didn't think about it.
Yeah. So that's exactly the type of person that they would want to infiltrate this thing.
And young.
Somebody, and young and impressionable. Well, guess what?
And in trouble.
Yeah, well, of course. That's... I did like this movie as well. I think I liked it better than Chicago 7.
I definitely did. Like, I felt pretty... I didn't dislike it. I just think that...
It's a different kind of a movie.
It's a different kind of a movie.
That has sprinklings of politics and the movements.
I think you can tell... It's that thing going around the internet. Tell me you're this without telling me you're this.
Yeah.
You can tell what kind of a person wrote The Trial of Chicago 7, and you can tell the type of person that wrote Judas and the Black Messiah. That is what I took away from this film. Like, the experiences behind those who were putting forth this work were very different.
Yeah. I had the same thought that, I listened to another podcast that talked about Chicago 7, and they are not very keen on Aaron Sorkin's depiction of everything.
Aaron Sorkin has a tendency to see the world through rose-colored glasses. He wants to see the best of the world. Yeah. And while sometimes he can produce incredible work...
he shouldn't have touched that. Maybe not in the way that he wanted to.
Yeah.
He could have had other collaborators with that, but Aaron Sorkin works alone.
He does.
Essentially.
He does. And if you don't like that, then he'll go away.
Yeah. So, going back to some of the scenes in the movie, I mentioned the interview that he was having with the FBI agent. And he was talking to him, like, where did you get the idea to go in and flash a badge and try to steal somebody's car by doing that? And he said a line that was, you know what? A badge is scarier than a gun. Yep. And that resonated with me in that, that's probably very true in that community.
That's true in most communities.
You got some schmuck coming in with a gun, some dipshit who's trying to steal your car. You're just gonna let him take it, But and that's just a car. You can get another car. Yep. But a cop comes, knocks down your door. They can ruin your whole family's life, let alone your life. Yeah. And
look to the extent to which these cops were like trolling the streets and being just very willing and able to say whatever they have to arrest. Like, he got arrested for stealing ice cream?
$70 worth of ice cream.
I'm sorry.
Like
what?
And he got like 2 to 5 years?
I'm sorry.
How the...
Okay. How in 1968-69 would one even acquire $70 in 1969 money?
Yeah, much less
$70 worth of ice cream. Yeah. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And he's going to go to prison for it for 5 years.
Yeah. And like, obviously they didn't really... They referred to it, but they didn't really explain a lot of it. Apparently his case was going through the court system, and it made it all the way to the Illinois Supreme Court. Yep. I don't know whether or not his conviction was up for debate or whether or not it was his sentence. Yep. But in the end, the Supreme Court upheld whatever the ruling was, and he was going to go back to prison. How the hell did that happen? Yeah. How did it go through that entire process? And I might be completely ignorant. I probably am about the legal system of that time. I know today it's still not much more better. That's not a word. But you get what I mean. So, again, I don't want to speak out of ignorance here. I really don't. But suffice it to say, we're a couple of, white people in their mid-30s, born in the mid-80s. We do not have the capacity to understand the injustices that have befallen African-American people.
Correct. For 50 plus years. 253.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So that being said, we're really not trying to get into the oppression of people or anything like that. We're talking about the movie here. Yeah. So, I think the themes of what we're talking about in this movie are everything is very dark. There are very, very few scenes in the light where you can see everything, you can hear everybody.
Literally dark.
Correct. Where you can see everybody, hear everything very clearly, and know what's going on. Everything else is very much in the dark.
I almost asked you to adjust the settings. I thought, because you had done it for one of the previous movies, that it was set too dark. And then I realized, oh no, this is just intentional. And it's also part of the place they live. Like, this is not a great neighborhood they live in.
None of it is.
And there's not good infrastructure. The light is bad. Yeah. It is bad light because these are bad apartments. Like every room they were in was dilapidated. Old churches, peeling wallpaper, old hospitals.
Their headquarters was a dump.
It was a dump. But it's what they could have.
Yeah, exactly. That was theirs. Mm-hmm. That was their headquarters.
And they rebuilt it when it was destroyed.
And that whole sequence there, number one, it started off with cops outside on a fucking bullhorn talking like, hey, you guys don't want us here. Well, your people shouldn't have done this.
It's your friends. Fault. Thank your friends in the Black Panther Party.
It's your fault. All these people talking to civilians on the street who are not necessarily a part of the party.
Talking to. He was like harassing people on the street first.
Sure. And just on the bullhorn, just talking all this shit about the Black Panther Party, saying don't trust them. They don't know what's good for you and whatnot. They're out there causing the shit. And I think you talk to anybody in activism these days, it's pretty much universal that hell of a lot of things that are instigated are done by cops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we're not going to take any kind of position here, but that being said, holy shit, were the cops terrible in this.
Oh yeah.
Them after the fucking shootout.
In the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day.
Daylight.
Unprovoked. I mean, first of all, I don't understand the reasoning why they pulled the guns out in the first place.
I think they just decided they were sick of it. They said, you know what, you're going to sit here, because those cops have been sitting in front of the building. They're in front of the headquarters, on the bullhorn, making noise just to make noise.
And provoking them.
Yeah. And they were provoked.
Yeah.
And it's not that they even started shooting right away, but they let them know.
Yeah.
Look,
hey, we're packing, guys.
You want to do? Today's the day, guys. Here we go.
Yeah. And I think what was the first shots were by the cops because they saw Bill up on top.
Yep.
They thought he was a sniper, and they shot, and that's when all hell broke loose.
Oh yeah, because what happens with anything when there's a ton of people with guns? One of the things you loved, one of the specials that you have enjoyed, is the John Adams miniseries on HBO.
Yes.
And they talk about the Boston Massacre.
Yep.
They talk about the Boston Massacre in the pre-Revolutionary Wars, before the war has actually started, but Boston is occupied. The British soldiers are all lined up, they've got guns, and the crowd is provoking them. And the crowd is yelling, fire, fire, fire.
Yep.
And somebody makes a mistake, and they fire on the whole crowd because one of the soldiers is... they're all carrying guns, and one of them made a mistake, and they all just follow suit.
And it wasn't even a mistake. What happened was somebody threw a rock or a piece of ice at one of the soldiers,
like a misfire,
and dropped his weapon. He probably dropped to the ground, dropped his weapon, and it discharged.
Yes.
Didn't shoot at anybody.
No.
It just went off.
But the second you hear a gunshot, you are trained, you all start shooting.
Yes.
Whether or not you know what you're shooting at.
Yeah.
You just start shooting.
And how they depict it is that the commander of this battalion of troops in Boston was actually in front of his men.
Yep.
Not behind him ordering them to fire. He was in front. Why would a commander order his men to fire when he's in front of them?
Exactly. So it's that sort of mentality. You've got 2, 3, 4 cop cars, and then more come out of nowhere when they call for backup.
Looking for an excuse.
And once they started
go to fucking war.
Yeah, and once they start shooting, everybody just lets their guns loose.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And it is very much a release of tension.
Yep. That's a tense situation.
Yeah, and they were never going to win. And I think they didn't put up as much of a fight as maybe they wanted to.
No, they surrendered.
Yeah.
They literally took the guy's shirt off and waved it out the window. They're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, one of us got shot, so you know what, we're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, right after that, they got everybody out of there. The cops ran in there and torched the place.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They put in a gas tank, lit it on fire, and ran the hell out. And that's why you get a big explosion.
I want to know what the hell happened there.
They decided to light it on fire.
What happened to those cops?
Nothing.
Seriously.
Nothing happened to those cops.
Oh my God.
Who's gonna do anything?
I know, and I know. This is me being outraged about something that happened here, knowing that nothing really happened to these cops, but again, you had so many witnesses who know it happened, saw it happen,
right,
with their own eyes.
But
nothing happened.
But in the eyes of the law, quote unquote, those are the wrong witnesses. Because who's really to say what would happen? Because, that's a whole...
I'm pulling my hair out.
All right, I want to talk about the acting in this movie. Because I said it before, I didn't know anything about this except for a couple people in it.
Yeah.
So I looked this up. These two are actually both up for Best Supporting Actor. Now, that's an Oscars game that people play where you run them in the category you think they have the best chance of winning. I personally feel like they should have run Lakeith in the Best Actor category.
Okay.
I think if there's any lead character in this movie, it's him. Even though the movie's about Fred, he is more of the supporting category. You could have run them both as Best Actor. It probably would have worked.
Yeah.
I thought Lakeith was really, really good in this movie.
Yeah.
And I understand that, it's the game. You put him in the category you think they can win, but I just thought he did really good.
I think one of the things I wrote in my notes, and I wrote a lot of notes about this movie. The last couple I didn't hardly write any. But what I said was, at the end of the day, he's just a scared kid. Mm-hmm. He got caught up doing some shit that he shouldn't have been doing, and he got pulled into this entire huge cause, but for both sides, for the cops and the Panthers.
Yep.
He doesn't know anything about what's going on either side.
He wasn't
He's just trying to survive.
Yeah.
He's not invested in either side. He got invested, though. He totally did. But he was able to turn on a dime. The hardcore Black Panther, I'm in this for life, give my life for the cause, for the people. But as soon as he is reminded of why he's there and what he's up against, he turns into a child.
Yeah, when they pull the string and remind them he's on a little bit of a leash.
Yeah, right. That's a great point.
Yeah, he's on a leash.
Yeah, they pull the lead a little bit, and he comes back to reality, and he turns into a little puppy.
Yeah, which is why I thought he was so good in this.
Yeah.
Like he's given different tasks. So like they give him C4 and send him in with a wire and say, okay, try to get him to agree to this on tape.
Right.
And he suddenly becomes like really aggressive and pushing the issue and say, we got to do it. And then he just starts like almost like crying in the car. Like he's not ready to handle this kind of a situation.
No. He doesn't have FBI training.
No.
He doesn't know how to do any of this stuff. No. Try to entrap somebody. Come on.
No. Like so they say at the end of the movie that Fred was 21 when he died. So you have to assume this kid was probably 19.
Yeah.
20.
Maybe.
That being said, those two actors may be a little too old to be playing those characters.
I had that
But
thought.
I'm really glad I didn't know that till the end of the movie, because that would have bothered me the whole time.
So I think Daniel, I think he also hit it out of the park.
Oh my gosh,
his the way he was speaking really got me. His accent, whatever that was, I don't know if that's a Chicago accent or anything like that. I don't know where that's from, but whatever it is compelling.
It's also not British.
No.
Another Brit.
Again, we're
everywhere
full of Brits
year.
in this entire year. Just Brits playing Americans.
But I didn't hear it once.
No.
I didn't hear it one time.
He was fully in that character.
And I think he's probably going to be the front runner. He's already winning a lot of awards, which is another reason I'm so disappointed that these two are in the same category, because all that happens is you steal votes from each other. Because if you're somebody who preferred one performance over the other, I still think that Daniel Kaluuya is probably going to win, though.
Yeah, I think he would deserve it.
Yeah,
100%.
Yes, it was powerful.
Yeah,
when he's with the girl, when he meets Deborah, she makes the comment, "I never thought you'd be shy." Like he can play.
He turns it on for the crowd.
Yeah.
But in reality, he's just a kid.
Yeah. Young kid who's trying to get a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. He's also a revolutionary.
Right.
And
a poet.
Just normal stuff. The other actor is as far as like leads are concerned, Jesse Plemons, the FBI agent.
Okay.
He is in a ton of this movie.
Yeah.
And that guy is not a well-known actor.
No, but I have seen him in quite a few things as of late.
Lately, yes.
Yeah.
The biggest thing most people probably know him from is Vice, but they might also know him from Spotlight.
He's in...
Or not... No, not Spotlight.
The Post.
The Post,
He's in
yes.
The Post,
Thank you. He's also married to Kirsten Dunst.
Really?
Yes, that is Kirsten Dunst's husband.
All right.
Fun fact.
All right.
But I just thought he was great in this. I don't know if I'm just not used to him as an actor because he's usually a very small supporting role.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he speaks.
This is the biggest thing I've seen him in.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if it's because I'm not used to him as an actor or because he was doing a character voice. He reminded me of somebody and I couldn't put my finger on it and it was bothering me. Yeah, I don't know if you picked up on anybody in particular. I don't know. I can't describe it. He was reminding me of somebody.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, the point is, I thought he was very, very good.
I think so too. Now, I was kind of going back and forth here, especially with him and his character.
His character's unusual. You're trying to figure out if he actually cares about this kid or if he's just pretending to care to get him to more easily do the really horrible things that sometimes he's asking him to do.
What I wrote about him was, he might be, he's a younger guy compared to the other two FBI people that we see depicted here.
Yep.
There's an older dude who's always drinking on the job, that is always in his office, and there's J. Edgar.
Yeah.
So he's the youngest of the bunch there. I don't think he's, into the cause or anything like that. He said that he was one of the prosecutors of Emmett Till or something like that. He was involved in the Emmett Till thing. Not Emmett Till. It was he was involved in the people who went down to register voters in the South.
Oh, the Mississippi burning thing?
Yes. He was involved somehow with that. So he's not necessarily completely on one side or the other. He's sympathetic to a lot of the causes out there, but what he sees the Black Panthers as is just the opposite side of the coin for the KKK.
Yep.
Which I don't know if his perspective is warped because he's in the FBI. Probably is. But I think in his mind, he is trying to help Bill get out of this and also, advance his own career.
Yeah,
but he's also trying to do this the right way. He's trying to use Bill as a regular FBI informant. He wants to pay him. He wants to be able to help him out because he's not a bad kid.
Right.
These other fuckers are trying to manipulate these pawns. They don't see him as real people.
Yep.
They don't see him as, regular FBI informants and be treated as such. They're treating them as pawns, which is exactly what they were talking about with the Connecticut situation with the murder.
They're like, isn't this convenient? We'll put it on whoever we want.
Exactly. And the other guy was saying, well, this other informant, well, we're just going to be able to use him as, well, they're harboring a known fugitive.
Yep. He just tells us where he went.
We just give him that distinction of fugitive, and anybody that he is associating with is automatically an accomplice.
Yep. Anywhere he goes.
Guess what? They can arrest all of them. Mm-hmm. Or create an excuse to have a fucking raid and go and murder all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, the FBI agent... What is his name? Why can't I remember his name? Is it just because he's irrelevant to me and I don't care? Anyway, Jesse's character. He's also...
Ted?
We'll call him Ted.
Sounds like Ted. Seems like a Ted.
He seems like a Ted. He's kind of a yes man.
Yeah. So, he's a G-man.
Yeah, he's a G-man. He's an FBI, a career FBI G-man. Yep. And he is talking to J. Edgar and his other FBI agents, and they say he's done everything. He's gone far. He's recorded them, and he's pushed them, and he's given us information. What more do you want? He's going back to prison. And he says, that's not far enough. And he knows what that means. Yeah. And he's kind of not okay with the whole killing him thing. But he says yes. And he goes along with it. And he pushes the kid to make it happen.
And the kid does it.
And he does it.
He does it. And he is scared out of his damn mind while he does it.
Yep.
But he knows if he does it, he's done.
Yeah. He's screwed. He's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't.
And I think that's the thing that they're trying to depict here, is that this shit haunts him for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
For another about 20 years. Because, the thing came out in 1990. For another 20 years, this was haunting him. He gave one interview, it aired, and he killed himself. Yeah. Because of how it came out.
He relived it.
Yeah. And he wanted to tell the story. He did. People heard it. He was done.
Well, and the very end where they show the actual man. Yeah. He says, I'll let this piece come out and
let history be the judge.
Yeah, let them be the judge. Ooh.
That's rough stuff.
Yeah, that was tough. Yeah, and I knew, obviously, again, watching the Chicago 7, that he had been gunned down. Like, they even showed, like, kind of pictures in that one, like some just, like, really quick shots of photos. And the house and the aftermath. It was like police crime photos in Trial of Chicago 7. But they elaborated on it here by saying, oh, well, give him this drug. It's not going to kill him. It's just going to make him sleepy. Yeah. Yeah. To
make sure that if there are other people who escape, fine. He's not going to escape.
Mm-hmm. Also, the man, like the pimp or whatever he was, who gave him the little vial. Yeah. That guy was in Get Out.
Yeah. He was. I was trying to place him, but yes,
he was his totally friend right. who like comes and rescues him.
You're totally right. I was trying to place him. Thank you.
Yes.
I know I've seen him before. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if that was an intentional choice or if that was a Daniel Kaluuya suggestion. I don't think there's any real relevance there other than it's kind of weird that guy showed up. And the only other thing I know him from is the only other thing.
I've seen him in other stuff, but that was his most famous role, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I really want to know what happened with, the hit squad who came in and killed everybody in that house.
Oh, you're so optimistic thinking anything happened
I know.
to them.
I know.
They lived happily ever after, Trent.
Again, I get
99 bullets they unleashed in that house. Yeah. 99.
Yeah. Again, I want to know
and
more.
And the victims were on trial for shooting one.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
J. Edgar Hoover's FBI, everybody.
These movies are just making me want to go read some history books.
Right. and I hope more people actually do watch these movies. Because it is an education piece if nothing else.
It's stuff they don't teach you in school.
No, it is the injustices brought about by old, racist, white people in positions of power, especially running justice departments and whatnot. Being in charge of who gets to get prosecuted and who doesn't.
Mm-hmm. And how.
Yeah.
And when.
And to what extent.
Yeah.
So on that uplifting level, Betsy, do you have anything else?
I'll go over the nominations this film is up for. We can talk about that. So this one is nominated, obviously, for Best Picture. As I already touched on, both actors are up for Actor in a Supporting Role. You had asked about this at the end of the movie, the song playing over the credits. It's called Fight For You by Her. Is up for Music Written for a Motion Picture, Original Song, Best Original Screenplay, and Achievement in Cinematography. So there you go. Cinematography. You said it was dark. Yeah. You can't achieve that if you're a terrible cinematographer.
Yeah. I would say those are all merited for the most part. I wanted to mention the music. The music was very unique. I don't think I've ever heard a soundtrack like this. I remarked at the beginning, like when he was gonna go and steal a car,
Yeah.
Like, the music was very kind of creepy. It was like low-key jazz.
There was a lot of jazz.
There was a lot of like low, like stand-up bass instrumentation throughout the entire movie, and it just made things feel creepy, and it was a very monotone soundtrack.
There was one moment I made note of when he is first meeting with the FBI agent, and he says, "What can we do to help you?" And he says, "Buy me a car, get me a car," because he doesn't drive. If you get me a car, I can drive Fred around and get close to him. And the next song, it sounded like a car horn. It was like a and then it turned into this jazzy number.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wait, what is happening? Immediately, car horn.
Yeah, the music fit perfectly into the scenes.
Yeah.
I barely noticed that it was there, but I didn't notice it when it was.
It was of the time, too.
Yeah, true, yeah.
A lot of it, I think, was just music from that era.
Yeah.
But you're right, when there was actually composed music, it was a lot of like upright bass, it was a lot of creepy strings and piano. Yeah, it was good.
It just gave the movie that much more sense of unease for everybody, because of course everybody in the movie is looking over their shoulder and like, cop's gonna come and grab me at any
there's a rat
at any
here.
moment. We got a rat in the organization who's going to try to bring us down. You got to be looking over your shoulder.
Why would we join up with you? You put this propaganda out.
Yeah.
Well, why would we do that?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it must be you. It wasn't us.
That was such a stupid moment. Them putting that together and putting it out.
And we as the audience know it was the FBI.
Right. And then you just think to yourself, Jesus Christ, how many other times did this happen? Did the FBI try to sow division in these groups?
How many times does this happen?
Right. One other thing I wanted to point out before we wrap up here. Organizations like the Black Panthers of the time, they were of a hierarchical structure. There is a top, there are lieutenants, and there are lowers.
They're military style.
Right.
The way they dressed and the way they talked to each other and the way they behave.
Exactly. So there is a leader of each chapter. Now, Chicago being a hotbed for this type of activity, guess what the FBI is going after? They're going after the leader. They're not going after anybody else in the rankings. They're going after the leader. Because, as the saying goes, you cut the head off, the body dies.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
For a lot of these organizations.
Yeah, what's going on with the Panther? My friend died. I'm not a Black Panther anymore.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Now, compare that structure with how things are in the quote unquote movement today. In the Democratic Socialist movement and the Black Lives Matter movements, who are the leaders of these movements? You're not going to see a leader of this movement on a pedestal somewhere. You're not going to see them going on CNN to do an interview. You're not going to see, a structure like that anymore. No. Because if you do, guess what they're just going to do?
It gives them a focus for their attacks.
Yeah. It basically, everybody is a leader of their own movement, but it's coalescing around certain ideals.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fred had a good idea at the end. He was basically saying, you know what, guys, you need to stop worrying about me. Think about the things that we're trying to do. Think about the school we're trying to build. Think about the medical center we're trying to build. Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
Because everything was surrounding him. Now, I understand it. He was a larger-than-life character, for sure. And he made himself out to be that because he wanted to inspire people.
You have to if you want people to get on board with the message.
Exactly. So what really should have happened was, if he wanted his movement to have legs, was just teach as many people, like they were depicting the schools in the beginning. If you really wanted that to take hold, have it be a grassroots, long-term, long-tail kind of a thing. Don't have yourself burn out.
No.
And that's exactly what happened. Dude was assassinated at 21. He could still be doing this stuff today.
Yeah.
If he didn't have such a target on his back.
A lot of guys from that era have been spent the rest of their lives, or are still spending the rest of their lives doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That I had that kind of a thought that, the movement had too much the star power of these leaders. It became about them. And a lot of that problem was the people who are going after him made him into that.
Yeah.
They
were just there. Talking about that, yes, he was like a leader, but also when he got out of prison, he was their friend. He was their family. He said, "Oh, I was wondering why it was so quiet around here. Oh, here's the party. Here we go." And they're all just hugging and chums. They're friends.
Yeah.
To them, he's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just Fred.
Yeah, he's just Fred, and we're glad Fred's home.
Yeah.
Let's get in there and give a big group hug to Fred. Mm-hmm. So it from the inside, it doesn't look like that, but from the outside, it does.
From the outside, you see the giant crowds in the church once he gets out of prison.
Yep.
Coming to see him, not to hear about the movement. They already know about the movement. They're there to see him.
Yep, which is why it's full of cops.
Right, exactly. What I said during the things, of course he thinks that there's cops there. He knows there's cops there because he knows that, you know what? They're there for him.
Yep.
They're going to try to get him. They're going to try to intimidate him. One other thing was he said to Deborah.
His girlfriend, his lady friend.
Yeah. He said to Deborah that, in prison, I had to kill a part of myself. I had to let a part of myself die to be able to survive. He didn't know that he had a baby on the way.
Yeah.
And he said, if I would have known I had something to live for, I would have not let that happen to me. Mm-hmm. But I think he just did not have any kind of... He ran out of fucks to give in prison, essentially. He said, you know what? I might as well be like kill a part of myself that continues to want to live, the survival part of my brain, because once I get out, man, I'm just going to go after it. I'm all about the movement. I'm going to die for the movement, for the people. Yeah. Because I'm already dead inside. Yeah. But then he starts to think about it some more. Then he thinks, yeah, I'm not going to try to run away to Algeria. I'm not going to go to Cuba. No, they're going to put me in prison. It's going to be this many years. You guys are going to go do great stuff. Do it without me. You don't need me. Mm-hmm. You already got all the tools that you need. Just let me go to prison. Let me do my thing. I'll come out and I'll help you out. Yep. Same thing that I just did. We're going to do it again in a few years.
And they proved they could do it without him when they burned down the building and they put it back up again.
They built it back up again.
He was like, wait, what happened? Huh? I thought it burned down. And they're like, yeah, we rebuilt it.
Yeah.
And they did it without him. Mm-hmm. They don't need him.
Yeah. It's very much an inspiring story. Yeah. Again, it makes me want to go out and learn more.
Yeah.
And be outraged
about this,
just as much.
About this individual in particular, because we've now watched 2 movies in the same year that bring him up. And that's not a mistake that at this point in our country's history that people are bringing him up again. Yeah. Very clearly.
Mm-hmm. All right. That was Judas and the Black Messiah. To end off, hey guys, we got an email.
What?
We got an email.
We did?
Yeah. One of those electronic mails that we kept begging you to we didn't beg.
We begged a little.
We begged only. We negged you a little bit. But we got an email about the last movie we saw, about Mank.
Yeah.
Mank to go back in time. But we received an email from a listener. We have listeners, Betsy.
Or we can confirm we have listener.
We have one listener.
From the listener.
All right. Talking about Upton Sinclair. one of the guys, one of the characters who was a kind of a phantom character. He's only shown once as Bill Nye the Science Guy.
It's true.
But the email reads about Upton Sinclair. Hey, I only knew Sinclair from The Jungle, where he exposed unsanitary conditions at meat packing plants. Had no idea that he had anything to do with Hollywood or There Will Be Blood. That was from Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. But yeah, dude was involved in a lot of stuff. Betsy, I didn't know that about There Will Be Blood either. He was some kind of was it a short story or novel or something?
Yeah, and they drew the inspiration for There Will Be Blood from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad our one listener, I'm glad we could tell you something new.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You also taught me something new because I didn't know about meat packing.
Yeah.
And unsanitary or whatever conditions there.
We're learning stuff here, guys.
This is a community. We'll teach each other.
Yeah. But yeah, if you would like your email read or your tweet or your carrier pigeon,
or even if you don't want to
signal,
if you don't want to read, but you just want to say hey.
Yeah. If you want to just say, hey, we're stuck in this basement. There's a cat over there on the floor. There's another cat somewhere in this house.
It's true.
Yeah. Come say hi to our cats. Email us and talk to our cats if you don't want to talk to us. All right. If you want to reach out, email address is neverseenitpod@gmail.com. That is neverseenitpod@gmail.com. If you want to tweet at us, the handle on there is neverseenit_pod. And yeah, Betsy, we got one left.
One more.
One more. We're gonna see. Ooh, what is it gonna be, Betsy? I wonder.
What could it be? What's remaining out of the 8 movies?
Spoiler.
It's Minari.
It's Minari.
Shh, don't tell.
We're not gonna talk about that right now, but we will talk about it next week. Until next time, this has been Never Seen It.
Woohoo!
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.